Hi everybody, and what are you stroking? You're stroking a beard that's not there. This is Grumpy Old Men. My name is Tim Newton.
And I'm Steve Ross, and apparently I'm stroking inappropriately.
Yeah, stop stroking inappropriately.
You launched the show with a criticism.
We've got presents today, so we'd like to thank Bill and Toy, who are actually over there.
Sitting over there. Yeah.
And they're our audience today because nobody else wants to come and watch this.
Yay, Bill and Toy! Yay!
So I happily wear my Bunnings hat. For those people that are not from Australia, you may not be aware about Bunnings. I haven't got one of those.
No, you don't. Well, I offered, you refused.
I spent many a happy Saturday, usually Saturdays, fossicking around Bunnings. If you're in Thailand, it's a bit like Thai Watsadu on steroids. And there are a lot of staff in green and red aprons and a hat walking around, and they'll help you with anything. If you want to know how to put a tile floor down, we've got a showcase over here, and there's 20 people sitting there and a man showing how to put the tiles down. And it's just a wonderland of home makeovers.
And in the United States, at least, these big box DIY, do-it-yourself construction stores have put a lot of local contractors out of business. So they have gone to work at Home Depot and Menards and places like that.
Home Depot might be the closest.
Yeah, perhaps. So the guy in the middle-aged man in coveralls in the aisle with the hat who's telling you what plumbing fixture to buy probably was a plumbing contractor before this store put him out of business. So.
And they had a great gardening section too. And people who used to be able to tell you, well, don't buy that one and put it in the sun and do this one. It was very, very, very good. And out the front, they always had a sausage sizzle. Do you know what that is?
Not at all. No.
Well,
I don't even know fossicking. It's all Aussie stuff.
Well, no, if you go to an archaeological site, you are fossicking for fossils. You are digging around for fossils.
So browsing?
Browsing.
All right.
Fossicking is more sort of gynecological though. All right.
What the hell are you looking for there? What are you browsing for there?
But the sausage sizzle was always for a charity out the front, and you get a cooked sausage in a bun. And it was usually undercooked, and you paid $1 for it, and it was always good fun. I have very many happy memories, so thank you very much to Bill and Toy.
Yes.
I'll have to do the show like this so that you can see the logo.
I took my hat off because I have to worry about my hair.
Yeah, so. Good. Just a few things. You spoke a little while ago.
I spoke?
Strangely enough.
Alert the media. There's a change.
And how I do, everybody. By the way, Steve has got books, and we'll talk about your latest project in a moment. But if you'd like a link to those books, you can find that in the description of this video. As you can buy me a coffee. There's a link in the description. And also beachhousethailand.com. We had 4 beach houses full last night.
Good for
you.
So
it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, in the traditional low season.
Yes.
Your book, what is that? That's 75%, 4 of 6?
Is that
you are 75% booked. I think any hotel on Phuket would be pleased with that statistic.
Yeah. And we've got another one arriving today, so good times.
85, 90%.
Why didn't Bill and Toy stay in my beach house?
You would have to ask them. I don't know.
So something to mention, this is a long weekend here in Thailand, and quite a lot of people down at the beach. I think that's why I've got my beach houses booked. But there were big celebrations planned in Bangkok, especially for the King's birthday, which is being held tomorrow. But this from the Bangkok Post today: His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen have ordered the cancellation of the King's royal birthday ceremonies planned for the Amarin Throne Hall. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. I can't pronounce these Thai names just quickly like that. inside the Grand Palace, and they were going to be held tomorrow and Tuesday. The Public Relations Department said while official ceremonies have been called off, the signing of well-wishing books will still be available, and the decision was made by their majesties, who acknowledged the current threats facing the nation, including the armed conflict along the Thai-Cambodian border. So there you go.
We had somebody in a comment, I don't know if this is apropos. Were you going to go on? Did I interrupt you?
No,
I'm
go
sorry.
on.
We had somebody in the comment section say that in response to the recent scandal about the woman who had apparently affairs with a dozen senior monks and had children and was blackmailing them, that the palace had decided not to award royal honors on the birthday tomorrow. To monks.
Yeah.
And I thought that was counterintuitive. I mean, first of all, that seems very unusual and unlikely for the royal family to do. But second, you don't punish a monk by not giving him a gift. They're all about not having stuff. So you can't be passive aggressive to a monk, because he's not expecting anything. And if he goes through his whole life and never gets a present, that's perfectly within what he signed up for.
But he wouldn't mind getting a gift from His Majesty the King.
Well, perhaps the bad monks wouldn't, but you're punishing the whole Sangha by insulting them, by causing them to lose face in this very public way. And I had not seen anything. Have you seen an announcement of that? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
In the press?
Yes, I have.
That the king is going to withhold honors.
That's right. I read it in the
All right, well,
Post
cut
this
that
week.
bit out of the video then.
No,
I'm wrong.
But I'm sure a lot of people here didn't.
It just seemed very weird to me.
You also spoke probably a year ago about a project just up the road which you had visited. I do remember, strangely enough, some of the things you spoke about.
I'm stunned. I am speechless.
You spoke about
He listens to me.
A project called Home and Life,
Yep.
and you mentioned it. If you play with that cable once again,
I'm sorry, I fidget.
you certainly do.
Yeah.
You fidget out of sight of the camera.
I mean, whatever happened to fidget spinners? Was that the briefest fad ever? You remember fidget spinners?
Well, I'll give you a hula hoop to play with.
Yeah.
I've got a few of those left.
I mean,
in the
they
cupboard.
just came and went overnight.
Were they for fidgeting or the?
Well, I know that a lot of
I never had one.
schools were absolutely furious because, parents would give them to kids who had been disciplined for fidgeting in class and who had ADHD or whatever, or just poor discipline cases. And they were sitting in class spinning these things. Well, my mom told me when I get nervous or anxious, I'm supposed to spin this. And the teacher's like, yeah, but we're in the middle of a class. You can't be sitting over there whiz, whiz, whiz. And they were a big disruption in the classroom, but they came and went so briefly that it just fizzled out. I'm sorry, go on. We were talking about, what is it, land and house, family and...
Home and Life.
Home and Life.
Which was, I think you described it as like a centre for children who had lost their parents during the tsunami, and a fund was set up and there was a statue out the front.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Well, if memory serves, it was set up immediately after the tsunami for children who were dispossessed and lost their families. Now, of course, 25 years later, those children are all adults and gone. So now I think it functions as a traditional orphanage. I think it's kind of a foster home or an orphanage. But when I went, I couldn't find anybody. I've only been there once. I couldn't find anybody to speak to, but I was fascinated with the statue. There's a statue out front of a PHANG who died in the tsunami, and apparently the whole place was funded originally by his family. But his name doesn't appear anywhere online. He has no footprint. You can't find anything about this guy.
So it's still operating, says the writer. Instead of the cafe, they have now more of an outdoor restaurant with tables in the river. So you can sort of, sit there and dangle your feet in the water, which is sort of rather strange for a place that's commemorating the tsunami.
Oh, irony. I love it.
Nothing fancy, he says, but they're now don't do that. They're now self-sufficient from the income derived.
Oh, okay.
Only 8 children being cared for these days, with the originals having grown up. And this was from Greg Brownless in Tauranga, New Zealand. So thank you very, very much for
Thanks, Ray.
for providing that information.
Yeah.
There's also some photos that he provided, and what can I do? Can I just sort of scroll those for you? There we are. That's the thing in the river. You can't see that. I'll put them in the...
How unsanitary. I could not eat in that environment for a free meal.
Really?
How do you know what's in that water?
Well, it's a creek. It's sort of flowing
Yeah. It's full of cigarette lighters, if nothing else.
Yeah, there's only like 17 big industrial complexes just upstream. So the water would be absolutely pure and sanitary.
You know,
I'm
down
sure.
here, I think arsenic is a byproduct of tin smelting. I'd be worried about that industry and what 100 years of tin mining and what that left behind in the waterways.
So you drink the water. Oh, you don't drink the water?
No,
we don't drink the water.
No, we don't drink the water.
We don't drink the water.
But I mean, serving food in any kind of wet environment is, I've worked in, with a theater degree, you wait a lot of tables. So I've worn a lot of hair nets because the law demands it. I've worn a lot of rubber gloves because the law demands it.
I'd love to see you in a hairnet.
Oh, it's great. My first job when I was 14, I worked at KFC, and I had long hair like down to here, and I'd pile all that hair like a Rasta man up in the hairnet, and I'd stand over the fryer for 8 hours. I'd take off that hairnet, and my hair would just stay. I had a perm, greasy. God, my skin in those days. Oh, God. All that greasy hair hanging in front of my face.
But all that grease has kept you young, Steve.
That's part of my secret. That, and I have a portrait in my attic that ages for me.
What does that mean?
The Portrait of Dorian Gray? You don't know that story?
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Oscar Wilde.
You also have a favourite series at the moment, and you told me about it yesterday, and I thought, oh God, better do the right thing, I'll go home. And I was thinking to myself, what the hell was the name of that series? It was something and something, and it was 4 letters. It was Spig and Carrot, or Sing and Song, or what was it?
This is an indictment of the boys' boarding schools education in Australia. To be or not to be, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows.
Slings and arrows.
Yes, it's a beautiful show. I am binging. I'm not working on turtles at the moment.
You're binging Slings and Arrows.
Yeah, it's a Canadian show about a Shakespeare company. If you like the theater, if you like Shakespeare, I'm sure out of, what do we get, about 10,000 views on this? There's got to be one person out there who loves Shakespeare as much as I do. And the theater industry and how it works, it's a wonderful comedy and drama and romance and just a beautiful show. And it's all free on YouTube. Whole episodes, and even I'm getting no commercial breaks. They put a commercial at the beginning of it and the end of it, and there's no commercial breaks, and I'm just loving it. Yeah. God, I love that show.
I should mention, out of the 10,000 views we get each week, 9,999 are Steve watching himself on TV.
Click. That's not far wrong. Yeah.
It would be remiss of us, given what is happening on the Thai-Cambodian border at the moment, not to sort of mention it fleetingly. There's plenty of news you can check. I'd be recommending Bangkok Post, ThaiPBSWorld.com, maybe The Nation, just to sort of catch up on some of the information from the Thai side. From the Cambodian side, you can also check Khmer Times, which is an online publication, used to be a newspaper, as was the Phnom Penh Post, which I visited their offices probably about 4 or 5 years ago and spoke with the editor. So what I would just like to mention is that there is a bit of irony in the whole background of this. Are you looking at yourself on camera?
I'm looking at the ocean.
Okay.
But typically, yes, I am chastised in the comments all the time because I look at myself. I don't look at the camera.
That's right.
So I don't make eye contact.
Tell you what, I'll make it a little bit easier for you. How about that? You see, it almost looks like looks like you're looking at the camera, but you're still looking at himself.
Do you guys feel better? Do you feel better now that I'm looking at you? Do you feel like we are simpatico? We have a connection? Awesome.
In the comment section, anytime I talk about the information or the news, you're beautiful, Steve.
Thank you.
You are beautiful.
Yeah, if you want to put that in the comment section, go ahead.
People just copy and paste long dissertations about the history and the Khmer Empire, and this is the reason for that, and you shouldn't be so stupid, and all the usual stuff.
Yeah.
But there is an irony in the whole thing, is that we've got two Buddhist countries, nominally Buddhist countries, arguing over Hindu temples. Because the history, they were basically Hindu temples.
Yeah, and that is one of the stated reasons for this conflict. I think the real reasons are never going to be stated. They are more human, more individual, more modern. I don't think really any of this.
More hip pocket nerve.
Yeah, it's more about money, prestige, and current powerful people rather than long dead kings. I think religion is not playing any part of this. I think that the piles of rocks that are those temples are not worth fighting over to anybody. But it's easier to say we're fighting over the lines the French drew in 1907 rather than say it's about money and it's about face and about oligarchs competing with each other. So yeah, that is it. But we have, if I can make this comment briefly, can I? What do you think?
Yeah.
You betting man? What do you think? Can I make this comment?
I'm ready
briefly?
with the scissors.
So last Sunday, I produced 2.5 hours of content. I was an hour on your channel and an hour and a half on Pete's Irish Times.
Right.
2.5 hours of Steve dominating the conversation, bogarting the conversation.
As distinct from the hour where you dominate the conversation here.
Well, that was one of the hours.
Right.
2.5 hours in a single day. And out of that 2.5 hours, I think I brushed up against politics for 30 seconds. 20 comments on both channels about Steve's politics. You're a woke libtard. You're this, you're that. I mentioned that now my Social Security, there's a question. In my mother's generation, there was never a question that you might not have your Social Security benefits. Now it's up in the air because everything's up in the air. Oh, all of a sudden I'm a libtard, this and that. People who for years have been telling me don't believe any press releases from the White House are now telling me you're not in danger because the White House says they're not going to touch you. You know, it's all crazy. But out of 2.5 hours, all these people were triggered by 30 seconds of politics. We've been trained by these media, these stupid machines we stare into, to just kind of sit there and let everything wash over us until we get to politics. And then all of a sudden, we're all keyboard warriors. We're all calling each other names over politics.
I'm happy to rename the show Woke Libtard Lefty Liberals, because we happily admit that we come from that side of the fence. So there's no use telling us that. We already know it.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, we rarely actually do brush up against American or Australian politics. If we're talking politics, it's local politics. You know, we've talked about the Puyai Bond. I mean, we get that local.
Sure.
But we don't talk about
that
Canberra or
us.
Washington, D.C., because, we had none of that really until they take away my Social Security. None of that really affects us at the moment.
Well, we've taken the hat around, and we figured that you'll be able to stay here if the worst happens. The history of Cambodia, I mean, it's not a joyous read. I mean, a lot of countries celebrate their history, and Cambodia doesn't have a lot in its recent history to celebrate. You watched The Killing Fields?
I did.
I thought at the time, I really thought it was it was guttural, but it was a very touching movie as well.
It's one of those beautiful movies you never watch a second time because you know it's going to kick you in the nuts. You know you're going to be left crying and wrecked for days.
What's the piece of music they use at the end, the last scene?
Sweet Home Alabama by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Well, am I thinking of the wrong movie?
Yeah, just a little bit. It's John Lennon, Imagine. And it's Sydney, I can't remember his name, the journalist, and Dith Prong. When they reunite, they find each other at the end of the movie. But it is, a gut-wrenching movie. And it caused me to go there. I flew to Phnom Penh and I spent 2 weeks visiting those locations. I thought it is incumbent on me as a thinking person of this generation to make sure I have an understanding of what happened in this country. And some 1.4 million people were actually executed.
Yeah, typically by putting a plastic bag over their heads. They didn't want to waste bullets. So
And
they killed them in the most grotesque medieval ways.
yeah, and an estimated 2.2 to 4 million people, depending on who you want to believe, died in the conflict that lasted from 1975 to 1979. Just one of the darkest periods in modern history. And I mean, it's hard to sort of have the top 10 worst things that happened in humanity in the 20th century, but that ranks like a long way up in the leaderboard.
Yeah.
So
There is a Phuket connection, if I may mention this.
Of course.
Any viewers on Phuket, a big wax of that movie, The Killing Fields, were filmed on Phuket. At the time it was made, it was very difficult to get into Cambodia. I think the Vietnamese were still controlling it and going in and saying, we're going to make a movie critical of what happened here. So most of it, or not most, I don't know the percentage, but much of it was shot on Phuket. So there's a scene, sorry.
There it goes.
There it goes. There's a scene where an American diplomat is in a limousine in a sports arena with the journalist, and they're having a conversation.
That would have been filmed in the Sirikun Stadium,
I
bet.
suppose. And the actor playing the American diplomat is a monologue artist named Spalding Gray, who I've always been very interested in. I enjoy monologue artists, and he is one of the best, one of the most famous, who had an unfortunate end. But he was cast in this minor little role, and they brought him in at the beginning of shooting. They shot the interior of the car in the stadium, and then something happened. They couldn't get their shooting done in the 3 days they had rented the stadium. They had to rent it for another day to finish their shooting. They couldn't get the stadium for another 6 weeks. So Spalding Gray got a paid 6-week vacation on Phuket in about 82. I think they made that movie 81, 82, when Phuket was still, great. And he got 6 weeks for free in a great hotel on the beach on Phuket with nothing to do but think about Cambodia. And so he made a monologue, which is also a wonderful movie, called Swimming to Cambodia. And the title is from his thought that trying to wrap your head, like you say, trying to come to an understanding of what happened there is like trying to swim from California to Cambodia. It's impossible. You will never grok the enormity, the ferocity of the terrible things that were done in a very tiny little country by a tiny number of hillbillies with guns, and in a tiny span of years. And the amount of evil that was expressed in those years is literally incomprehensible. So if you're on Phuket and you're interested in Phuket history, you can see a lot of Phuket in that movie. And anyway, Spalding Gray. Yeah.
And the reason we should watch a movie like The Killing Fields or read books and share monologues like that is because there is no doubt that these things can happen again. It's just inbuilt into the human species.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say...
That got dark.
And it's going to get a little bit darker because...
Yeah. Can I have a coffee? I'm serious. I'll be right. I'm going to... call latte on. You want something?
Song! Thank you.
You're going to have a latte. Ooh, my.
One thing to consider, and this is poor Cambodia, that during the drive to year zero, as they called it, they killed all the intellectuals. They killed the teachers. They killed the doctors. Anybody who wore glasses, because they were thought to be scholarly or intellectual. And they killed the homosexuals and the gypsies and anybody who was thought to be slightly left of far right. So it was really, they ended up with a country of uneducated peasants. Yeah. Or the people who were clever enough, the few of them, like
survive.
Dithron to survive.
The people who took off their glasses in time.
Yeah, and just did what they were told. So we're now probably into the second generation of people who survived that conflict. And yeah, it's still a big problem for Cambodia that they lost their
Smart people.
Their intelligentsia.
Yeah, they killed the smart people. Hillbillies with guns. It never ends well.
So, well, as far as we're concerned, there are no winners or losers in this conflict. At the moment, they're sort of piffing rocks over the border at each other. Unfortunately, people are getting caught in the crossfire. Innocent farmers, people who just want to grow pineapples.
The people who always get caught in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hope this finishes very, very quickly. All right, so you've got a lot of things to talk about there, and sorry if that did get a bit dark, but it was it is incumbent on us to obviously mention that.
You know what? We've been doing this every Friday for 2 years, an hour each time, every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
But yeah, inevitably we're going to drift into dark territory. Life is that way. I want to thank. I'm going to look up his name so I make sure I get it right.
God, he's written an essay.
Right, he has. Yes. From Detroit, Dennis from Detroit. And
yeah, look at that.
Dennis sent me 2 handwritten pages.
Foolscap pages.
You know how long it's been since I received a genuine letter.
Check his handwriting.
And beautiful things.
Oh my
he said
God.
very sweet things. I'll show you the envelope. A minimalist address, as always.
Dennis, your handwriting is appalling. Only mine is worse.
And he sent me a card, just a turtle card, because he and there was a little gift inside. Thank you, Dennis, very much.
Sawadee kun, Steve.
Yeah. You could have thrown a crap in there, dude. Cost you nothing. But he also he has about the same literacy in written Thai that I do, which is probably about a 3rd grade literacy.
Oh my goodness, he's actually done it in Thai.
Yes.
So is that an accurate depiction of your name in Thai?
This just says Tanon. This is the street. Hat Tao. Oh, Tanon Hat Tao. So Turtle Beach Road. It's Tanon Chai Tale. The street by the sea. So he's written a sea turtle road. Close enough.
I'm already
Dennis.
regretting asking.
Good shot. But I'll tell you what. You go into the
bank.
bank.
Thank you.
You go into the bank. You
One
go
coffee.
anywhere.
Coffee from
please.
Chip Fair Lele, by the way, where we're recording the program.
We have been forgetting to tout our hosts, Chip Fair Lele, and what was I saying? Oh, you go in, learn to write your name in Thai, because if you go into the dentist's office, and the girl's trying to make out a new card for you, a new patient card, and she says, "How do you spell your name?" And you say, S-T-E, and she writes E-S-T. Just take that card and write your name in Thai. That woman will love you for the rest of her life. So learn at least that much. That's going for the low-hanging fruit, dude.
It's doubtful you would remember, but a few years back I met you briefly.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did I meet Dennis from Detroit?
No, apparently, from the letter. I came in here and there was a PHANG sitting here with one of my books, reading one of my books. So, of course, I went over and said, "Hi, I wrote that." And that was Dennis. And so you weren't here at that time.
Would you like me to sign the book for you?
I don't know, Dennis, if I offered that or not.
You come in every time anybody's reading a book. You say, "I wrote that. Would you like me to sign it for you?"
It's the Bible. Yeah, I'll prove I didn't write that. We've got a book of the week. You want me to start with the book of the week, or you want?
Oh, we're done with Dennis, have we?
I was just saying thank you to Dennis.
What did he say in his letter?
Oh, just that he's planning retirement, and he's going to come here in a few years, and he's watching us and reading books and coming and visiting, and he seems to be doing everything sanely and slowly and carefully, which is the only way to do it.
Sure, unlike what Steve did.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. Oh, don't do anything the way Steve did. Don't read the books and then do everything that's not in the books.
Can I say, I did a video during the week, sort of pimping a project that I've been mulling for the last 2 or 3 years, ever since I
retirement
arrived
home.
here. A sort of retirement home, retirement village, retirement style village. And I sort of said, oh, it's going to be a bit like this and a bit like that, and these are the sort of people that might like it. And gauging from the response, there is not a hope in hell that I'm going to go ahead with that project.
Really?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you asked, what do you want in retirement?
Sure.
And everybody said pussy and beer? Is that
No,
the problem?
no, that wasn't the problem. And there is limited amounts of that available here. Small proportions, but limited, but it's there. But that wasn't it. It was that every single person wanted different things.
Oh.
And so some people want, the thing where you putt. You practice
putting
your
green.
putting green.
Yeah.
Other people wanted a pool this size. Other people wanted a sauna. Other people wanted this. Other people wanted a big house, a small house. Dogs, access for the animals. Can I get organic food there? And I thought, oh, fuck this. There's no way that I'm going to be able to make anybody happy.
Yeah.
So
and
it
they're
is not
there
happening.
all day long to complain. They're
And then nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So, let's just go and see Tim and complain about the light bulb, which is the wrong color temperature.
Yeah, there was none of that in the Best Marigold Hotel movie, was there? It
No.
kind of sugar-coated it then. Yeah.
So the retirement home, the retirement project is not happening.
Okay.
Put a
all right.
line under that one. And so thank you
This
very
is-
much for your feedback, but there's
Yeah.
no way that I'm going to
This
go
is
down
why
that
you're
track.
successful in business, and I never was, because you listen to people. You do your research, you do your due diligence.
Now, I thought it was an interesting way to find out, because a lot of our audience are males, sort of over 50, and I thought, oh, they're perhaps target audience. What are they looking for? Oh, God. It was a lesson in...
in pleasing people and the inability to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's go to your book of the week.
All right.
Talking about uplifting.
This, because I knew we were going to talk about the orphanage, the Tsunami Kids Orphanage.
No, you didn't. I just mentioned that before the show today.
Shut up. Cut that bit out.
Okay.
So, Tsunami Stories Thailand, this is interesting for a couple reasons. One, Bill O'Leary was the manager, maybe still, I don't know. He worked in one of the big hotels at the north end of Phuket for many, many years. Opened the thing up and worked there forever. Bill O'Leary is also the PHANG mining manager in a movie called Muang Ra, or The Tin Mine, which is available on YouTube, which is about the tin mining industry in southern Phuket. And he got a role, because he speaks fluent Thai, he got a role to act, I think for the first time in his life, maybe, in that movie. But what he did is he went around Phuket after the tsunami and just recorded and then had transcribed people's firsthand accounts of that morning, what they were doing, what happened, what they saw.
Good.
It's not literature, but if you're doing research or you're just interested in it, you're not looking for a good read, you're not looking for glittering prose or character development or a plot, you just want a snapshot of people's very subjective observations on that morning. It's a real good record of, I think he's probably got 10 or 15 people contributing to this. And it's interesting to go through it and see, this is where this guy was at 9 o'clock. And because I've read 3 stories up till now, I know this other person at 9 o'clock was hanging from a tree, and this other person at 9 o'clock was watching their car going down. You can put everybody into a very specific timeline. And Tsunami Stories Thailand, if you can see it, if you're at all interested in that morning, we've just had the 20th anniversary, I think.
Last December, yes.
My God, just had. Yeah, 6 months ago. But anyway, I thought I'd introduce you to that book.
Have you been in a movie? Have you?
In a movie? No, I've appeared on stage in theaters many times.
No, a movie.
No, I am in a documentary called The Making of Do the Right Thing. There's a movie called Do the Right Thing, an American movie. I was the set decorator on that movie, and I appear, actually, very embarrassingly, in one moment they're interviewing Joie Lee, who is the sister of Spike Lee, the director of that movie, and she's sitting in a canvas director's chair and she's yakking. And I come walking up the street with my clipboard, and there's my whole crew sitting on a stoop watching.
The clipboard guy.
The clipboard guy. There's my whole crew sitting on a stoop. It's not a break. So I come marching up to them. What are you guys doing? Get the hell down here. Get to work. And they point, and I notice that 3 feet from me is Joali being interviewed. That's why they're not working. They're supposed to be dressing this stoop, and they're doing an interview. So my guys are waiting for the interview to be over. So you watch, it's on YouTube as well, the making of Do the Right Thing. And you see Steve from the chest down and holding the clipboard come march up behind this woman, and she is thrown. I don't know why they left it in the documentary.
So from your chest down.
Because she's seated in a director's chair, and
Right,
the camera's
right.
down there with her.
All your best
So
parts.
So I come walking up behind her, and
Sure.
she's just like,
what the hell are you?
my
Yeah,
big
yeah.
damn voice, right? We're out in the street. Whole movie shot outside, the entire movie. We're out in the streets. I'm shouting at these guys, standing directly behind her. And they left it in the documentary. I don't know why. But that's the only movie I appeared in. I'm not an actor. I'm not a performer. I'm a prop man, and very happy to be a prop man.
I did appear in a movie.
Hey, Tim, you ever been in a movie?
Some local film enthusiasts cobbled together quite a big budget to make a movie. I cannot remember its name. It lives somewhere in a dark corner of the internet, but I played the baddie. I was sort of the
Typecast.
I was the Mr. Evil, sort of, with the bald head and marching around menacingly behind a person who was tied in a chair with a sort of a light beaming down. And I had about 6 or 7 lines, like, so you think you're smart, or I had some ridiculous
We have
accent.
ways of making you talk.
Yeah.
Were
So-
you stroking a cat?
No.
Did you have a scar on your face?
No,
Aw.
but the sight of me stroking a white pussy with a bald head, I'd be looking very James Bond.
Yeah, I think so.
No,
Blofeld,
there was no
Blofeld.
pussy
I'm
stroking
Blofeld.
in this movie. And I can't remember anything about it. I remember
Oh, that's
we sort
too
of-
bad. I'd love to see that.
we
How old
laughed
were you?
and- probably about 40 at the time. I was as bald as I am now. And I sort of looked the part. And I think they thought I was, a bit of a dick. So I'd be a perfect...
Let's get Tim.
Yeah, we need an evil guy. Oh, Tim, yeah. He's
You're giving Bunnings a hell of a commercial today.
sure.
They
And
are-
not that you can read it. I'll have to do the rest of the show like this.
Or put on mine. Mine's got the logo in front.
And you can send the check to
Yeah.
Tim Newton, Turtle Beach,
Yeah, contact
Thailand.
my agent.
Yeah.
All right. We time for Narelle's notebook?
Norell's notebook. How much
Hang on.
time do we have? Let's just check here. Okay, we've got a bit of time left.
How much time?
I'll be the judge of that.
All right.
I should actually read this and try and decide what it actually is about. I'm reading your notes.
All right.
We've got Dennis from Detroit.
All right.
Thailand. So this is another one of your somebody pronounced it wrong things. Go on. Is it
I'll be
Thailand?
leaving now. Thank you.
Thailand.
No, I've noticed online a lot of people say Thailand, and I've always said Thailand. I pronounce the like hat, and other people pronounce it Lund, Thailand. I've been in Thailand 50 years, and I've just noticed that. I don't remember ever hearing that before.
Thailand.
Thailand, and I say I'm always very Thailand,
More than
Thailand.
just an accent thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've only just noticed it after 35 years of saying the word Thailand. I've just noticed other people say Thailand. Thailand.
There's a YouTuber who's popped up recently, sort of does newsy things, does a weekly update. He's very good. But if you think my pronunciation of Thai words is wrong, oh my God, he takes it to a whole different level. But anyway, he's very good. I can't
He's
remember his
well-meaning.
name. So, yeah, do you notice people saying Thailand?
Lund.
Thailand. Yeah, I think that sounds like somebody's just an accent thing chiming
Right.
in.
Well, we'll see what the Brain Trust says.
Billy Roy from
Bill and Toy from Sydney.
Oh, we've got Bill and Toy.
Yeah, we've covered that.
Okay, I like reading your notes because only Steve can read them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I spent my life on a keyboard. My handwriting is shit. But on a keyboard, I'm very, very fast.
Scooter Gray's 60s mods. Okay, this is about the scooters last week, which were all hotted up.
Scooter guys are 60s mods. This comes from the brain trust. The young men who had tricked out their little 100cc step-through mopeds and put, like, you know, tassels and bells and whistles and lights on them.
Tassels? Didn't see a lot of tassels.
Are the modern equivalent of the mods in London in the 60s. The guys who wore very tight pants and rode around on tricked out little...
Vespas.
Vespas, yeah.
Right.
So that comes... I'm not familiar with that much.
I never saw that trend. My remembrance, my memory of the 60s is based around sort of my sister. She went to London and she spent 5 years. She collected a husband there, apart from other things. But she was always sending sort of photos back of her sort of sauntering down Carnaby Street, and she was, you know, in her late teens in the 60s, and she was really right at that age when she had the flowers and the hair and the driving a Mini around, a Mini Cooper. So...
well, ask her about the mods.
Yeah, sure. She's still around.
I remember they play a role in some Beatles movie. I don't know if it's Help or A Hard Day's Night, but the mods are part of a plot point in one of the Beatles movies.
My sister's trying to sell her house in Mount Eliza, by the way. If you're looking for a house, she bought it for $39,000, and it's for sale for about $1.6 million.
Wow.
So there you go.
I have never been that smart in my life.
Probably beat her down to 1.59. I don't know. Leave it up to you. Remittance man, something trust fund baby.
I had mentioned last week that it used to be a custom in the UK. If you had a son, you had multiple sons, and one of them was kind of a ne'er-do-well, you gave him a little stipend and said, go off to Southeast Asia. Go off to Asia, go to India, get out of here. Don't hang around here and embarrass us. Go be a drunkard and a whoremaster in India or Southeast Asia. And I said, there's a word for that, but I can't remember what it is. And everybody pitched in and told me remittance man is the word for that. Modern equivalent is a trust fund baby. So I'm just
What's a passport bro?
Yeah, I'm unclear on that. I guess it's a young man who travels a lot. That's all I can figure out. For the
purpose of finding sexual encounters.
I don't know. Maybe the brain trust.
I'm sure they will. Passport bro.
I've heard it. I don't know. I've seen videos like how to be a passport bro or what's up with the passport bros and all this stuff. I don't know. Maybe I was one.
Well, maybe
you know, I was 30 the first time I came here. Is that too old to be a passport bro?
If you want to get me pissed off, call me bro.
Okay, bro. Okay, dude.
As I look up from under my
that's
Bunnings.
threatening. That gives you a real Blofeld look.
See, that's why they cast me in that movie.
Yes, right there.
There was no other choice.
It's clear as day.
When you were sort of past your school in Iowa in the USA, and your mother would say, "Okay, it's time to go off to," where would it be? Was there a popular location for United States citizens, men probably, and women, who had completed their education and they were sent off to...
Like a walkabout? Like Aussies put on a backpack and spend a gap year going around the world?
Well, no, it was the UK. You were off to the UK.
I would guess in America in general, it would have been Europe. My family does not have a lot of nostalgia for Europe. My family left Europe at the point of a bayonet. So we were never encouraged, my family was never encouraged to go back to Europe. My mother and I traveled through Asia when I was a very young child, 10 or 11. We lived on Guam for 2 years.
Okay.
So we went to all over Asia in those years. I don't know, America is so big. I think if a kid in America, even today, takes a gap year, they would most likely, at first, just go around the United States.
I'm thinking that would be the case. Yeah. I remember when I met, I was doing a Rotary International group study exchange, and I was posted, it's the word, to...
condemned.
Alabama.
Yeah, condemned.
And I was staying with this lady who was living in a house. Have I told this on the Grumpy
Yes.
Old Man? I have.
Yes.
Okay, I won't tell it again.
Okay.
So you.
I retell stories all the time, and you allow it, so
Okay.
I'll allow this.
No, I won't go. I won't go ahead.
It's funny because previously you said what music was playing at the end of the Killing Fields, and the first song that came into my head was Sweet Home Alabama. But here, given the chance, the first words out of my mouth are to diss Alabama and say you were not posted there, you were condemned to Alabama.
Right.
That's weird. The place is a dichotomy, and there's an intellectual
I think it still is a
schism in my head.
dichotomy.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Anyway,
That one we've done.
Yes.
That's the politics thing.
so it's my show. I
My notebook.
no, this is Norell's
Run
notebook.
rings around you, logically.
So you did want to mention that you have done a new video this week.
Yes.
Yes. Would you like to talk about that, Steve?
Well,
Briefly.
I guess because I mentioned it last week. So my friend Maddie,
Hi, Maddie.
wanted to read my books, but he has retinopathy and it's difficult for him to read. So he was going to have an AI machine read my books to him. I did not want that. So I've begun recording my books, just sitting in my living room with the camera, with the phone. And I'll record about 3 or 4 at a time and put those up on the old channel. And it's not monetized, so I don't, it's for Maddie. It's not, I mean, you want to watch, great, go
Sure.
watch. But I don't care about views or clicks because I'm not monetized anymore.
Would this be described as ASMR?
You'd probably fall asleep listening to it, so perhaps yes. It's just this
So
me
in the
looking-
background, Steve reading stories.
Yeah.
His stories.
It would, you know, if you're going to knit, you treat it like a podcast, I guess. That's how Maddie's treating it. And at any rate, I'm just going to read. I've got 5 books, and I'm going to read
A link in the
all of
description.
them. Hopefully, before I die, I'm going to read all 5 books. It will take me, took half an hour to read 3 stories. I think if we judge about 8 hours a book, times 5, that's 40 hours of reading. If I do a half hour every week, how many weeks is that? 40 hours be 80 readings, 1 a week be 80 weeks. So a
You're
couple
gonna have
years.
to stick around a few more years.
Yeah, a couple years anyway. Yeah. So,
So-
that's it's called For Maddie. That's all.
There will be a link to Steve's channel in the description if you'd like to watch Steve reading his stories
Yeah.
with his own voice. If it wasn't you reading the book or an AI voice, which actor would you like to get to read your stories? Mary Tyler Moore?
No, they're very much in a male voice. I don't know any actor who can pronounce the words correctly, pronounce the Thai words correctly.
Well, that sort of thins it out a lot.
Yeah, it does. I think, you know, there's 100,000.
Stephen Colbert.
There's 100,000. Ooh, God. I'd give a kidney for Stephen Colbert to read one of my stories.
I think his Thai pronunciation would be shit, though.
No, he'd do the research. He'd have a Thai person tell it before,
There you go.
know.
There you go.
But at any rate, yeah, the idea of a machine being able to read my stories anything close to as well as I can read them, and I stumble. I do it all in one take like this. I'll stumble and I'll stop in the middle of a story and digress and tell you about when I wrote this story and what was going on in my life. Yeah, you know, and so because it's for Maddie, it's just for Maddie, and he's a bud, you know, and so I'm talking to Maddie, and there's not this big huge audience. It's just me and Maddie.
How do people enjoy watching that?
Well, if they do, that's great. I think it's had 1,000 views. It's
Wow.
great. Yeah. But at any rate,
I'm doing the wrong thing, worrying about talking about the news.
you know, somebody comes out. I watch a lot of DIY stuff. Somebody makes a little ceramic kitty cat out of paper mache, and they get 1.4 million views. So, you know, my 1,000 views for my stories is not a big deal. But Maddie is enjoying it, and that is the important
Well,
thing.
given the purpose of what you're doing, that's a really good view count.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
And considering I haven't promoted it anywhere and haven't shared it or anything on social media, and there's no intro or outro, it's just turn on the camera,
Bang.
say, "Hi, Maddie," and start to read. and that there's no theme music, there's no, nothing. So yeah, for those low production values, there's no retakes, there's no edits.
And Steve digressing every couple of minutes.
I was doing it before breakfast at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was just having my first cup of coffee, and I think, it's okay, but it's rough. It's home movies. And
it's organic, I think we say these days.
Organic. There you go. Yeah, it's orgasmic too.
But what about the guy that read the Harry Potter books?
Which guy?
Stephen, English entrepreneur, raconteur, actor, philosopher, big guy. Stephen, how could I forget him?
Stephen Fry?
Stephen Fry.
Yeah. I don't know, because he's not on YouTube. I have listened.
Oh, yes, he is.
No, not his audiobooks.
No, I don't think so. No.
Because I've listened to the first 1.5 books. It's weird you bring this up. The last week or so, that's what I've been listening to as I've been doing Turtles. And there's probably 4 or 5 readers out there who have somehow got the rights to read these books. And some of them are very just a flat American reading of it and terrible. And some actually do accents. And one guy I dearly love, what the hell's his name? But he tries very hard to do other accents than are in the movies. So it doesn't just sound like he's parroting the movie. And that's really fascinating to listen to that guy. But no, Stephen Fry, I assume, if the rights to the books are available to amateurs to read them, I would guess the rights to Stephen Fry's reading of the book is not free. So you would have to go buy that on a disc. But it's weird you bring it up, because I've been listening. They were huge in my life. My daughter was absolutely addicted to Harry Potter, and it was one of the few things we could connect on.
Good.
And so I'm very familiar with Harry Potter, and it's great fun to go back and revisit it.
And you can now watch them on Disney Plus, I think. Or, I think it's called Disney Plus. Things that didn't age well.
No, you skipped this one.
Oh, yeah, I'll get back to that.
All right.
Things that didn't age well. Appalachian murder brutal. What does that say?
Ballads. Appalachian murder ballads.
Ballads.
Yeah.
I got the first bit, right?
So we had been talking, for a couple of weeks, we talked about things that didn't age well. Media, popular culture that didn't age well, songs or whatever. And my mom used to have a lot of records, folk records. My mom was a hippie. There was a time when she would wear a black turtleneck and a beret and bang on bongos. And she was a beatnik. Did I say hippie? She was a beatnik.
Beatnik.
So we had a lot of folk music around the house. And the year I was born, the number 1 song was Tom Dooley by the, not the Letterman, who was it? The
Peter, Paul,
Kingston
and Mary?
Trio. The Kingston Trio.
Okay.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. The most pregnant pause in any American music. At any rate, it is what I was listening to some of this old, Peter, Paul, and Mary, some of this old folk music, and I listened to this song, and it's part of a genre called the Appalachian Murder Ballad, where murderers on death row were immortalized and lionized in popular music. So Tom Dooley stabbed to death a pregnant 19-year-old girl, stabbed her in a frenzy multiple times and buried her in a shallow grave, and then tried to get away, ran away. And he is sitting on death row, ruining his decisions. And this song makes him out a hero.
I know, that's the strange guy. He drives past.
He's wearing 2 hats today. He's riding his bicycle. I swear he's wearing 2 bucket hats. At any rate, the guy's weird as hell. At any rate, so that's something that did not age well. The whole genre of Appalachian murder ballads, guys, these would be called honor killings today. He found out that the baby she was carrying was not his child, or he found out his wife was having an affair with the butcher or whatever, so he stabbed her. Now he's awaiting execution. It's the night before his death, and he's really, really sorry he stabbed his wife to death. That'd be very hard sell today to get a market.
The genre of Appalachian murder ballads has missed me somehow. Okay, so this is something that you don't really like talking about, pronunciation in the English language. Acronym pronounced as a word like NASA or laser or taser.
Taser.
Laser too.
I would guess so. I don't
Light
know.
assisted, and LASIK, that's another one.
Okay.
LBH is an
Initialism.
Initialism.
Good job. This comes from the Brain Trust. Somebody pointed this out in the comment section. I had said that LBH was an acronym. We were asking if it was losers back home, whether that was really in common use among Thai people. And we got a variety of responses. Apparently is among foreign educated or international school educated Thais, they will use the expression LBH. I called it an acronym, and somebody corrected me. An acronym is pronounced like a word. NASA, TASER, LASIK. Whereas LBH, if it's used just the initials spoken, it's an initialism.
Unless you say LBH.
Labuba. He's a labuba.
Yeah.
Labuba. He's a labuba. Anyway, that's interesting to me and the guy who commented in the comment section. But kudos, dude. Good job. Steve got it wrong. You caught Steve in a mistake. Good job.
Are we keeping points about?
Well, it happens so rarely.
If you get
really very special when it happens.
Okay, China what?
Yeah.
China what? Spelled W-A-T.
We had been talking about why the ruling oligarchs in this kingdom spell their name, why their name is spelled and pronounced in English Shinawat, when the sh sound doesn't exist in the Thai language. And why the RA, Shinawatra. If you watch foreign news, they call him Shinawatra. So why spell it that way? Why not just spell it the way it is spelled and pronounced in Thai, Chinawat? And it occurs to me this week, I don't know if this is the reason, but that would be China what? In English, if you transliterate the word from the way it is pronounced and spelled in Thai, it would be Chinawat.
China Temple.
What? Yeah, China Temple. Or just the word China, I think is anathema. They are obviously a Chinese-derived family. But I think there might be enough residual racism that when they entered politics 2 generations ago, perhaps they decided in their press releases, we will spell it this way. And then the press has picked up on that and used it for 2 generations.
Does the R-A on the end, which is not pronounced,
right,
denote anything in Thai language, the R
well,
sound?
it would have been something generations ago.
Yeah.
Now it has Magaran over the R, which means this is not pronounced. So when I write Steve Ross in Thai, I'll put a second salsa, a second S on the end, because if you just put one S, it's rot. They'll pronounce it rot because they don't pronounce an S at the end of the word. You put a second S and put a garan over that, a my garan, they will say Ross. So it means don't pronounce this. It's there in Thai.
It's like the Z at the end of Newton. It's not pronounced,
right,
but it's there.
Or the E, Newton. When we first came in the what do they call it? The ship's full of criminals. The prison ship. When we first came in the prison ship, it was Newton, but
Good God, what was that?
the coffee grinder. Anyway, I
Something
digress.
exploded.
Yeah, China what? Maybe that's why.
That's it. You're done.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, we're done.
Aw.
Oh,
No.
oh God.
I wanted to get to this one.
Oh, okay. Did I miss one?
Yes. Somebody commented, Steve, you find your own life really fascinating, don't you?
Oh God.
Fuck yeah. Don't you?
Sure.
Isn't your, yeah, sure. Everybody does.
But I know nobody else gives a shit what I
see,
do.
that's the difference. If you want to throw rocks at me, then throw rocks at my compulsion to talk about my life, not my fascination with my life. We're all, I hope, fascinated with our lives. What's the alternative? A coma?
Well, I need to be fascinated with my life.
Yes, you
because
do.
it's
We
the
all
way
do.
I pay the bills.
Yeah. And
Why do I work so hard? I have to.
Right. And you know, if you're not fascinated with your own life, if you take it casually, you're going to step out in the road in front of a bus, not paying attention. It's a survival characteristic of the race. We are all self-interested. We are all motivated by self-interest. And I'm not different from anybody else in that. My difference is my compulsion to speak.
And express yourself. And today's program brought to you by Lynn Sugar And I know it's sugar because it says sugar 18 times all over the packet. As well as Bunnings, Bunnings hardware in Australia. Thank you very much to Bunnings.
And
especially to Bill and Toy.
Bill and Toy.
Who can clap again.
Who've been very patiently sitting there. I'm sure they've been bored for 45 minutes.
They've been
but
sitting
they're
there looking at other
if
YouTube
we
channels.
get up and leave, they'll see us get up and leave. We can't get up and leave yet. So now they're most relieved. Of all of the people involved with this, they are the most relieved. They get to leave now.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
And as I've mentioned already, there's links to Steve's books in the description. Buy me a coffee, and also beachhousethailand.com. Let me tell you, as we look out across the Andaman Sea, no more than 50 metres away from us, it looks like another magnificent day here on Turtle Beach.
Yep.
With the sound of coffee grinding in the background.
Good
Great way
coffee.
to finish.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
See you next time.
Bye.